In this video, we're going to learn how to create a dynamic sidebar template. So now that we've registered support for our sidebar as a widget area, we want to create our sidebar template. So I'm going to come over here and create a new file. And then I'm just going to call this sidebar.php. And then I want to add a comment so we can tell other people who might be working on our site what this is for, or remind ourselves later if it's been a while since we've worked on it. So we're going to say the template for the main sidebar. And then below here, we're going to use an if statement, and we're going to say if our sidebar is active. So we have a special function for that. So if is active sidebar. And we want to pass as an argument to our sidebar the ID of our sidebar, pass as an argument to our function the ID of our sidebar. So if we come into functions.php, we gave it an ID of main-sidebar, so that's exactly what we're going to pass here. So I'm going to say main-sidebar. And then I'm going to close my PHP tag because we're going to add some HTML next. So I want all of my sidebars to have an aside, so use that HTML5 element there. And then I want them to have a class as sidebar, so I'm going to say class equals sidebar, so we can pull in our sidebar styles. And oops, I also want to add one more class here. I want to denote this as a widget area, so we have a hook if we want to style our widget areas at a later point. And then inside of here, we're going to use a function that's going to tell WordPress that this is a dynamic sidebar, meaning it's a widget area. And then we're going to tell WordPress what widget area specifically we want to pull in. So I'm going to say PHP, and that's called dynamic sidebar. And then we want to tell WordPress what sidebar we want to pull in. So we're going to use that same ID. And then we want to end our if statement. So down here, I'm going to say PHP and if. And awesome, that's all we need because we're going to add all our content from our sidebar in our widget editing screen of WordPress's interface. So it's going to say if our sidebar is active, get our sidebar. So I'm going to come back in WordPress and then I'm going to refresh. And if we're successful, we should see that widgets menu item appearing under our appearance, because if you remember when we started our theme and we didn't have any widget support, we didn't have that appearing. So if we come down here, we have appearance, and awesome, we see our widgets option. So we can come here, and just like we defined in our functions.php file, we have the title of main sidebar, and we have also our description pulling in so that anyone adding widgets to our sidebar is going to know exactly what this is for. So exactly as we type that in there. So awesome, really, really cool that now instead of just having a static sidebar, which would work, we have the ability to add all of WordPress's built-in widget areas to our main sidebar if we wish. So awesome. Now that we have created our sidebar, in our next lesson, we're going to finish up the rest of our template pages.